think I entered after it passed it and then it reclaimed.
Just watch. Share your screen. Where is this? One thing I realized with the reclaim level retest is that it has to fuck. It has to uh reclaim with conviction or else it's not the time to enter yet. Like look at this reclaim here compared to this reclaim here. So it pulls back aggressively. Super obviously here you see the large selling and then this buying here. It reclaims it, but the way it reclaims it is kind of weak. And then when it pulls back in to test the pre-market high, this is where you want to see that next pop to enter again. So for me, I waited for this reclaim, and this reclaim felt more strong than this reclaim. And then when it pulled back, I entered right here.
But w- looking at the buying, it looks weak, and the red bars look greater than the green bars, and CBD is stalling.
Are you
How would
talking
you
about this entry?
know the rally before that?
Oh, because of how fast it happened. That's what gave me the idea of conviction. Compared to this one, it was like just like a quick pop and then it pulled back. Whereas this one, like it pulled back aggressively and then instantly it just popped super fast. And then when it
Oh,
came back, and still here, I wasn't ready to enter yet. I needed to see this pullback here.
mm,
But I've realized that you've been doing this. You'll get in on that first reclaim,
the
but
first one. Yep.
that first reclaim doesn't show that full conviction yet. And I've been
I
seeing when you post your trades, I'm like, he keeps doing this.
I literally wrote that in my journal. Stop being the first fucking buyer. I've been
Yeah.
noticing that. I keep doing that.
Because I was finding myself doing that too, and then the more I realized it, that like you don't like you are actually the one who pointed this out to me. Like we have time, we don't have to enter on that first. Obviously, sometimes there is going to be times where it takes off without us, but I've seen that that first reclaim isn't really always the right one.
You know what is throwing me off
But
is
it does
I,
look convincing here. I'm not gonna lie.
the thing that's throwing me off is this is the 5 minute. I am on the 32nd when I take my entry, so it looks more aggressive.
Yeah.
But then when I journaled it, I'm like, I'm the first buyer. Why am I always the first buyer? Like I am being patient, but I guess I'm not zooming out to see the full aggressiveness or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. I got to figure that out. But you're right. I noticed that too. I'm always the first buyer, and I need to change that.
And I feel like that will save you a lot because you're taking it exactly where you should be taking it. It's just you're entering too early.
Yeah, mistiming it for sure. Yeah, you're right.
But that has definitely like slowed me down because that was happening to me too. And I was like, okay, like the first reclaim, like it could still trick me. So I try to just be patient. And then I even wrote it in my playbook here. Price breaks key levels, so it breaks it here. And then reclaim with conviction. Like conviction is the key thing for me when it reclaims.
Yeah.
And then the next thing for it is retest key level and plus the limit orders and it holds. So that's what I was seeing here. And that's why I know I'm not supposed to be taking two trades, but that's why yesterday I did, or Friday I did take a second trade because when I seen this happen, I was like, oh, I've seen this happen so many times. Like, I need to try this.
Did you get or Eli didn't try on Friday, but did you have that supply zone above NQ on NQ where it
Oh, yeah.
rejected?
Yeah, I did.
What did you think of that? Because I was looking at it like, dude, I
I
should
thought it
take
was
profit here, but I thought it was gonna go up.
I thought it was gonna break too. What sucks though is that did I take a picture of it? Maybe I didn't. What
Hey,
sucks is that
hold up. Eloy, just make sure the volume's on.
Yeah, I checked that already.
what sucks is I had this price, this resistance point at 60.23, and I didn't even think of it like I marked it because of where is it? If you look here, I was like, okay, we have no room until 60.36. But then when I zoomed in over here, I was like, this was support once, twice, three times, slightly over here. So I just marked it as like, this could be resistance. Oh, and then right here it was resistance also. And then I was like, this could be resistance. And I marked it, yet I don't know, in the live market, I didn't even pay attention and it wicked right at it.
We're too focused on 60.25.
Yeah. And
Like,
even
dude, like the market couldn't just get us to high of day. Fucking bullshit, dude.
I was having a conversation with ChatGPT about it, and it pointed out that right here. It pointed out that these large orders, once it had rejected so aggressively initially, expecting it to go back and hit that again, especially with resisting 60.20, was unlikely for the trade setup. It said it was a great trade setup, just the target was unlikely because of how it rejected initially and the multiple times plus the limit orders that it rejected 60.20.
Damn, those
It's
13
crazy.
points weren't enough for you?
Was what?
13-point gain wasn't enough?
Dude, we got greedy, man. We got fucking greedy.
But yeah, like I had the 1 hour supply on NQ too.
Yeah, it rejected perfect. Fuck.
Damn, it rejected it twice, and I didn't even realize. That's I think what made me think it was gonna break it though, because I was like, oh, it rejected it once, it rejected it twice. So if it pops up into it again, it's probably gonna try to keep rallying.
What was crazy though, I remember you said in the Discord, oh, this trade feels better than the last one. And I felt that too. It was like when your confirmations align, you really do gain more confidence.
Yep.
It's just,
And that
it's
was
just,
even another thing Umar said. He was like, once you understand your playbook to the point where you get that feeling that you're saying where it's like, oh, I feel confident about this. He's like, that's when you start adding to your like start sizing up. Like say you take a loss and you only had one contract, but then this setup appears. Obviously not yet, but like you trust that setup because you've seen it happen multiple times. He's like, that's when you put on a little more contracts.
oh, I fucking can't wait for that.
No.
Dude, I was at work yesterday until 1 in the morning just wishing I was fucking profitable. Just
Damn.
on my birthday too. Fuck,
I'm
shit sucked.
gonna remember those times.
Hell yeah. It only makes me want to work harder, to be honest. I want to get the fuck out of there.
My first trade, I was looking at it as a momentum continuation because usually it'll
Are we doing Friday first or what?
I don't know why I just started there. I'll go Monday. Did you guys trade on Monday?
Fuck yeah, dude. It sucks.
I did. Oh shit, I had a dope winner, but I had a loser at first.
It was the second.
Yeah.
Oh shit, my computer's about to die. Eli, did you watch the Carmine video?
Yeah, I got like 75% through. I haven't finished the last bet, but it was a lot. Like, it was dope, the shit that I was watching, and I was like, damn, like, it felt like similar to what we were doing, but we just don't have a certain eye that he has when he takes his trades. But it feels like we're getting
Yeah.
close. The way I was watching his video, I was like, man, we're there. I just got to keep going. And even though this feels good, like, oh, I feel like I'm getting something, I'm still gonna face a lot of loss. So that was like the emotional controlling part.
Dude, I mean, on Friday, no, on Thursday or so one day out of the week, Carmine like had a really bad day. So he still goes through that
Oh
shit.
yeah, when he fucking
Had to shut off his computer.
this specific trade that I took on Monday was based off of everything he was talking about in that video. It was popping off of this daily 4 hour demand, and then um I didn't catch it at the low, so I was waiting to watch for LVN to appear, and it did. Where is it? This is just the setup in general. So I didn't catch this entry down here, but then when it popped, I seen this LVN form, and it was inside of my 4 hour demand still. So that's what gave me super confidence in it. So when it came back and retested, I seen these limit orders appear. And then the shift in buyers was clearly happening. CVD was rising. Like everything just aligned perfectly. So
That's
I
a big plus right there.
at 58.81. I think my target, I didn't yeah, that's what happened. It like lagged a little to get to my VWAP, so I kind of exited early, which fucked me. I should have waited. But it did. I would have been scared if I held it because I remember it took some time to finally get there.
Honestly, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to hold through the pullbacks, man.
Yeah, it's tough.
Hell yeah.
But this one was definitely like everything that I want to see was there. So that one felt good.
Yeah, that was perfect. That's the only trade you took?
Yeah.
We don't have to go through my trade.
That's how you stop avoiding them. I mean, you start avoiding them.
No.
What was your trade, Eloy?
I took a long at 648 at 59.05, and that was a $30 loss. But then at 7:39, about an hour later, I took another long at 59.03, kind of in the exact same area. But at this point, I was convinced that it was going to keep going up.
What was your target?
On the first one, the loss, my target was. Wait, what the? Oh, 59.19 or 18, 59.18 on my first trade. It hit the LVN node at 59.06. I made the stop 58.98. And yeah, it reached it. It was moving up at first, but it just came straight down.
See, with the wait, what was your target again?
59.18.
And what was your target for the second one?
The second one, my target was 59.15. I might have adjusted because of the entry.
See, you want to be able to label each trade. So like the one that you took, I don't know, I'd have to see your shots. But this one that you took over here, I definitely label it reclaim level retest because it broke under pre-market high and then it popped up and then reclaimed it. I mean, you could even consider this the break under and then it pops up and reclaims it. And then when it pulls back, just because, like I said, when you have the label for it, it helps you like visually see it when it's happening more and more. So, like, that's why you see me now. labeled the name of the setup every time.
It
Like
says
the
trade.
one
It
that.
says trade playbook.
Oh, what the fuck? It's my Play-Doh book because I gotta adjust it sometimes. um, uh, like right here, you'll see this one, the momentum continuation. I still haven't mastered that one yet because I don't see it happen a lot. I mean, I haven't mastered any of them, but this one, the Albion reclaim, that one's pretty easy to see because it has to pop off a demand or reject a supply zone, and then it leaves a LVN, uh, and then I need to see it like I'll just show it here to explain it without seeing it. Oh, it's not this. Fuck, I lost it. So it like if you have it written down like this and you just could compare it side by side every time, uh it starts to click more and more. So right here it's the daily 4 hour demand. So that's the context. Price trades into higher time frame zone. So this is my higher time frame zone. And then it leaves a LVN or SVP gap forms on the push off the zone. So it pushes off my 4 hour daily demand and then it left the LVN. So that's this port, the second step. And then the third step is the retest of the low volume node. So it pulls back and retests the low volume node. So this is like when if I miss the bounce off the demand zone, I then come to start looking for a LVN to form and I start to look for these specific things to happen in order to know this is my setup that I see happen over and over again. And the same thing for the reclaim level retest. Example here. This one. Yeah. So it breaks, same idea. Well, this one is in reverse. This one's a better explanation.
The way what I'm looking at right now on your screen is that how you just have your screen set up like three different things are open.
I take the screenshot like this.
Oh, okay, that's tight.
So when I'm comparing it to my fucking trade, I have my playbook to the side. So this is the same idea, but going in the selling direction. I missed this trade, but I journaled it anyways. It forms a 90-minute while we have a 90-minute supply zone, and I obviously missed this rejection here because of how quick it happened. But then I seen a LVN form. So this is the reclaim level retest. Oh, this is the wrong setup I'm explaining. Sorry. This is the reclaim level retest. So it needs to have a demand or supply zone plus like yesterday's high low, pre-market high low, or VWAP. And in this case, it was a yesterday's high. You can see the yellow line here. So it formed the 90-minute supply zone, which is the first thing I need to see. Then it has the yesterday's high just right below it. So the market traps buyers when it pops up into the 90-minute supply zone, pulls down, and then it, well, in this case, reclaims the yesterday's high to the downside, and then it retests the key level, pops up into it, and then there was a low volume node also, which just adds confirmation. The delta shift occurs. You see here we had large seller buyers slowly try stepping in, and then sellers stepped back in. CBD was making a lower high, which adds to my confirmation, and it ends up rejecting right at yesterday's high. But this is what I'm saying, where like you want to be able to compare it like this and see it be something that you see happen over and over again. Because if you're not able to do that, then you're kind of just like, uh, how can I say it?
You're just taking shots.
Yeah, exactly. So
Doing
like
this
with the
crazy.
one that you took here, you could easily there's some right there. You could easily have what what price was that? I mean, what time was it at?
The
Oh,
winner was
this is
the winning one was at 7:39
oh, I'm looking at the wrong chart here. Sorry.
on
Damn,
Can you guys hear me?
yeah.
Oh,
We lost you
what
for a
happened?
second.
I lost the connection for some reason.
Oh, a second. So like with this one, if you, it's a little hard to really uh call this a reclaim level retest for me, although it is because of how far demand is for me. I would have rather pre-market low be or pre-market whatever pre-market this is, pre-market high be a little lower because then I would trust it more as a reclaim level retest because we have the daily 4 hour here pops up into it. Say pre-market high was right here, then you could like really trust it because it has that support underneath. Whereas up here, it's a little harder. It did work, but it's a little harder to label it like that.
Hmm.
If I hope all that made sense.
Hey, did you post your trading playbook into Discord?
Yeah, it's in the trade playbooks tab.
Oh, that's right. I'm gonna look at it.
Um, what was your trade, Gabriel?
5905 at 648.08.
That's
59.
similar to the one Eloy took, isn't it?
Oh, I think me and Eloy took one of the
Uh,
same
the
trades one of the days or something like that.
yeah, my losing trade, Gabe took that same one because I remember he said, "Damn, we both took that." But then my winning trade is like 2 points off of the same entry price, so I eventually tried the same thing again. But I don't think Gabe tried the second one.
Yeah, I only
What
took one
time
trade.
was your first trade, Eloy?
6:48. I entered at
Oh yeah,
59:05.
you guys took it exactly at the same
Oh
time.
yeah, exactly the same one. Yep. Great minds think alike, even though we lost.
Great losers think alike.
So was it more based off of this low SVP node?
Yeah, the first time, yeah.
My
See how in
confirmation.
this case, go ahead.
Oh, just limit orders, low node, and 1,000 lot buyer.
Oh, this one over here. I see it.
For me,
5904.
also at ZVD on the zero line was like stalling, where it was green. It was obviously going down, but it like tapped the zero and turned red for a second, went green again, tapped the zero and went red for a second, but then it was going green.
Yeah, I remember seeing that too. Oh yeah, see how here already not even at 648 yet. Right now it's 647. It made a lower low compared to this aggressive push over here. That was a red flag to me. I think that was one of the main reasons why I avoided taking the trade at
I think you
all.
said that in Discord.
Yeah, that was like the main reason why I avoided it. But right here, using that low SVP node idea is not as reliable because there's no support underneath it to kind of confirm that so that like buyers were supporting this low SVP node. Instead, I would have rather, since there's a supply zone up here, let it break underneath the oh, and it kind of fills in the low SVP node also.
Wait,
Unless
there's
you
a
guys are
is that still Monday?
Yeah.
yeah.
What supply? What hour? I don't have supplies on there. If I did, I wouldn't take that long. 3 hours?
3 hour
Yeah,
supply at
I don't even have that.
Uh did
Shit.
you, Eloy?
I'm opening it up right now.
I could
Yeah.
see why it would be convincing, but I also don't trust these outliers anymore. So
I had
All my winners have been with outliers.
where was the 3 hour supply at?
59.13.
No, I had a gap
But
right there.
on ES?
Yeah, it was formed in the after hours, like right after the market closed. There was a gap that formed at 59.10.
I don't even think I seen that. But
I
because I had the 3 hour supply, I was very cautious of not taking that long there.
And then I also at the it was weird. I don't and it helps me when I chart, but I had a range from 59.23 to about 59.18, and I've seen it be used like as resistance and support. And so on my winning trade, that was my exit price. My target was a 59.15, which was right at the bottom of the range of that previous. Like I keep writing it because every day it changes, but it still has like some serious action going around it. So one day it's my support, one day it's my supply.
Mm. I never do that, so I don't know.
And I don't color. I just make them gray, like very visible gray lines, and like we could barely see them because I'm just kind of like I'm not using this as any key point. Key price is just I could see. I don't know. I'm still going like very rogue with my strategies. I be doing like
Good luck.
I be depending on the time and date. I'll use those numbers as some key prices.
Hey, bro. One thing I was gonna say is always like consider like is it the outlier that's giving you the confirmation or is it like other things? Like
No,
some like
I don't.
outlier could be there, but it doesn't necessarily
No, no,
mean
no, no, no. Wait,
that's
wait. I don't base my trades based off one confirmation. I was gonna actually say the LVN retest I wouldn't use because that's basing your trade off one confirmation, and I don't want to. I only feel
I don't hear
I
you.
still have four confirmations at all.
Say the last couple of seconds before you said four confirmations.
For what?
Just repeat your last sentence because it kind of cut out the last bit of words.
Oh well, it doesn't matter if there's an outlier there as long as because the outlier isn't. Oh, oh, I thought my shit went out again. The outlier isn't the thing giving me confidence. The fact that confirmations showing up, the majority of my confirmations are showing up. So that's what's giving me the confidence. Even if the outlier wasn't there, but I still had 4 out of my 6 confirmations there, I still probably would have taken the trade. I don't base my trades off one confirmation.
I just said that
It's
because
not the
you
way.
said all your winners have an outlier.
Well, all my winners have had an outlier, but they've also had 4 or more confirmations lying.
So for
The
this
trade.
one, what was your
This one was a 3 out of 6, but I'm an idiot and I
you
took
post
it
it?
because I've been impatient. Huh?
You post this one?
I don't remember. Let me check. Second. I think I did.
Oh yeah, I see it here.
Oh yeah, I did. That's 3 out of my 6. The thing that's fucking me too is the nodes. I still don't know. Like, still kind of throwing me off. And I know I have to gauge the reactions and depending on where it is around my key level, but sometimes they don't work.
That's why I'm saying when the oh yeah, you didn't have that supply zone. Like in this case, I mean, I didn't see it because I was looking for lungs still. Like I was kind of trying to be patient for lungs. But see how here it forms this LVN, and if you had that 3 hour supply, that would be that LVN setup that I'm talking about, where it rejects a key supply zone. Say you had it at 59.15, and then it forms the LVN, and then on this little pop here, you could take it short because it rejects that LVN. Rather
But
than
where,
trying to use the LVN as support because you have the supply confirming this LVN as a low.
well, if I had that supply zone, I wouldn't have taken long to begin with. But
No, because you said you don't know when to use the LVNs or whatnot. Rather
oh yeah,
than just like seeing an LVN and saying like, oh, this could be support because there's an LVN there, I'd prefer to see a supply zone just above or a demand zone just below to give me confidence on that LVN.
so you only take uh nodes inside our demand zone,
Either inside or right above.
but it has to
Yep.
have a supply demand zone.
Nearby. Yes. That like
How
if you look at my where the fuck did it go? Right here, the LVN reclaim setup, price trades into a higher time frame zone, demand or supply, and then when it pushes off, it creates a LVN.
yeah, I see I create an LVM when it aggressively pushes up, and then the orders don't really get filled,
Yeah.
and it just
And that's
node
one
around it.
thing, what's his name? Carmine. I don't really recall if he mentions it exactly, but I do feel like he mentioned something about that, like the way it pops off of demand and then you you wait for that LVN. Rather than it like
So,
being in the middle of the zone and form a LVN. I mean, it could still work, obviously, but it's more reliable.
but what if like yesterday's high or pre-market is like your key level, and there's an LVM there? You wouldn't take it. You wouldn't consider it.
I have to see it. I can't picture it in my. I do know what you're saying, but
All right, say price is consolidating between yesterday's highs and yesterday's lows. Obviously, you want to see a break above reclaim or a break below reclaim, but there's an LVN there. You wouldn't consider that as a confirmation because it's not a near supply zone or demand zone.
I'd probably look at it more as a reclaim level retest, and I need to see the real trap happening. So, like, say it breaks above yesterday's high low, and there's a LVN right next to it. I'll use that as confirmation, like to give me trust in it. But I really need to see that trap occur underneath yesterday's high, and then reclaim it. I wouldn't really LVN wouldn't be the main reason why I'm taking it. It would be more of a reclaim level retest.
Well, I don't. That's what I'm saying. I don't take a trade based off one confirmation. But if it's there, I'll add it.
But in this case, where there wasn't,
That's kind of why I'm confused.
yeah, I do see it. That's why I'm like, I previously I was like hesitant on mentioning my actual setups because it's taken me a while to really see this. But like for the in this case where's your
Yeah, this case it didn't work for sure.
no, I'm saying like oh there was a yesterday's high actually. I feel like I need to get more LVN setups because I only have one right now, to explain it better. But the like I said last time, the more and more I catch these setups happen, I'll keep bringing them up
Sounds
because
good.
there's not always gonna be a yesterday's high or pre-market high next to it. So like,
No, but that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. If it's your key level and it's there, you're gonna consider it as a confirmation,
yeah,
regardless.
of course. But
That's
like
just what I'm
in this
saying.
case, for example, there's no yesterday's high or yesterday or pre-market highs next to this daily 4-hour demand. So when it pops up, besides having daily 4-hour demand, like if only the daily and 4-hour demand was there on the retest, I would be a little hesitant. But the fact that there was a LVN there, just like that made it like almost the basis as to why this became a key level. Besides having the daily 4-hour demand, you're right. You don't just want one confirmation, LVN sitting there. Like obviously having the daily and the 4-hour demand here uh added to the reason why I trusted this LVN that form. Um,
Yeah. I do
but
feel like those nodes inside demand zones and supply zones are definitely stronger for sure.
yeah, and if it would have, because see here, I have the daily 4-hour demand zone. If it would have popped up and then created a LVN at 58.85, for example, I would use the LVN as a potential level of interest because of how close the daily 4-hour demand zone is.
So would you enter in the LVN or would you enter in the demand zone?
It just depends because it see if it broke through the LVN, I would be cautious about getting long on this demand zone here. Because a break through the
See,
LVN is
that's what
not a good sign.
shit. This is where I'm overthinking because like I don't know which one's strong. So if it breaks through the LVN, I'm just assuming, oh, I guess it's not a strong one, but it's still inside my key demand zone. So maybe I'm still looking for longs.
I think when that happens, you have to really pay attention to like how are limit orders and how is price reaction reacting to those limit orders. Because a lot of times when I see it break through the LVN, those limit orders end up like either disappearing or like they're just not holding the way I'd like to see them hold. But it's based off of reaction, really. I mean, see, that's where I'm saying like we have our playbook. We just got to keep seeing how to work with it.
Yeah.
Because I personally also don't feel like I've kept replaying the market enough with this playbook in mind to really have full confidence in my setups.
I also
It's
wonder. I also wonder whoever's using Bookmap, are they do they know about the low value nodes? Like, are they using them? Like, if they pass it, like if a price passes through it, is it like a collective thought that that LVN is not strong? Does that make
I
sense?
mean, I don't know about other people, but I know Carmine has mentioned that. That's where I got it from initially, and also ChatGPT.
Hmm.
They've both mentioned it, so that's why I'm like I emphasize that for myself.
Okay.
But next day,
Yeah, let me
Yes,
end
sir.
this video.